Welcome back to math. Today, module 3, lessons 1 and 2, making equivalent fractions with a number line, area model, and numbers. What do I mean by that? Well, hopefully you'll find out. If you notice, it says mark points 0 and 1 above on the number line. I drew my own number line. And we're going to put 0 over 2, 1 over 2, and 2 over 2. Looking at these fractions, what do you think our unit is?
2.
Our unit is 2. That's correct. So let's start here. I'm just going to put a line there. This is going to be 0. So what would go over the 2 here? That's right, a 0. And I'm going to make this really easy on myself. When my unit is 2, my unit of measure is 2, how many lines am I going to have for this? How many lines am I going to have for 2 is my unit? Well, that just gave you the answer. 1, 2. That's it. So, here we put a 2 and a 2. How many is this? Well, let's count over. 1. Good job.
2.
And this would be 2. 2 over 2 is 1 whole. So we'll put that over the top. Whenever they ask you to do fractions on a number line, don't make it really hard on yourself. Just make it simple. Okay? So if they're asking about the units of 2, then just put your lines like that. Okay? All right. Let me do one other one, okay? Just so I can show you what I mean by making it simple on yourself. We'll leave a 0 here. Let's say our units of measure are going to be 4. Someone just said 5. Okay, I'll go with 5. So let's say our units of measure are going to be 5. All right. What do? Well, we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? I'm going to put some more in here. Okay. What would go under the 0? 0 over 5, right? The next one would be 1 over 5. 2 over 5, 3 over 5, and 4 over 5. And last but not least, 5 over 5, which would be 1 whole. And we can put 6 over 5. Then it becomes a improper fraction. Why is it improper?
Because the top number is the bottom number.
You're right. The top number is bigger than the bottom number. So that means that we have more than a whole here, huh? Which could give us a
Improper fraction.
yeah. So let's say I have 1/5 plus 3/5 is my problem. Well, I could put my, I like to call this the red rubber ball. So I could put my red rubber ball here, right? And then I'm going to add how many fifths to it? How many fifths to it?
3.
3, right. So I'm going to go over 1, 2, and 3, right? So if I have my red rubber ball, let's say, and let's see if I can show you this. It starts here, right? It goes over 1, 2, 3, and there's my answer. So my answer would be 4 over 5. See how easy that was to do the adding? Now we can add and subtract when we have the same units on the bottom. Okay? All right, let's go on to our next kind of problem. This says draw one vertical line down. Why are we going to draw a vertical line down? Well, I'll show you. What's our fraction right here? It's a half, right? So I will highlight this. How much do I have?
Half.
I have a half. It says, okay, now take your half, and we're going to make it an equivalent equivalent fraction. That means we're going to make it into a fraction with a different unit, but they're both going to equal the same thing. What do I mean by that? Well, let's say I have a half, and I'm going to take that, and I'm going to multiply it by 2. Okay? So that means I'm going to draw a line across here. What's my unit number now? Well, let's see. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. What's my unit fraction now?
4.
What's my unit number?
4.
4. How many are shaded in?
2.
1, 2. So if you notice, what? 1/2 is equal to 2/4. Is that correct? Right. Now let's say I do that again, but this time I want to do it by 3. Okay? So I'm going to get rid of this. I'm just going to use my same graphic thing, okay? I'm going to multiply by 3. Okay? 1/2. And I'm going to multiply it by 3. So that means I'm going to cut this into how many pieces?
3 pieces.
3 pieces, right? Because it's 1, 2, 3 pieces going this way, and I have 2 pieces going that way, right? Does that make sense? I hope it does. Anyway. All right, so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What is going to be my unit number?
6.
Yeah, 6. So my unit number 6. How many do I have here?
3.
I have 1, 2, 3. Now if you notice, 3 is half of 6, right?
Yes.
So you can see how, now I can say 1/2 equals 2/4, which equals what? 3, 6. And this is 3, 6, right?
Yeah.
Does that make sense? I'm going to go ahead and pull those off now so that I can redraw my next one. What do you think I'm going to want to multiply by this time?
4.
Yeah, 4 is correct. Because if you notice, it says multiply it by 4, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. How many do I have? What's my unit number now?
8.
Well, let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. My unit number is going to be 8. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. If you notice, 2 times 4 is 8. What do you think my top number is going to be? 1 times 4 is?
4.
4. And if we counted them, we could go 1, 2, 3, 4. And we just proved that 1/2 equals 4/8, right?
Yes.
Do you notice that 4 is what? Half of 8. Excellent. Let's do one more so you get the idea. What do you think I'm going to multiply it by this time?
5.
5. You might be right. Let's check it out. So I have my 1/2. I'm going to cut it in half, right? I'm only using half. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. So, what do you think my bottom number is going to be? What's my unit number going to be on this one over here?
10.
Well, let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Our unit number is 10, right?
Top numbers.
So we're multiplying by 5. 2 times 5 is?
10.
Right on.
1
1 times 5 is?
5.
Now let's check and see if we've done it correctly. Let's just count the shaded in area. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So our top number would be 5. 5 is what to 10?
Half.
5 is half to 10. Everybody say that. 5 is half of 10. Good job. So if you notice, we made equivalent fractions, right?
Yes.
We've made a half, which equals 2/4, which equals 3/6, which equals 4/8, which equals 5/10. Now, I'm just going to take just a step further and say, let's say my number is 20. What is half of 20?
10.
Good job. So we could even show this if we could draw our line small enough. All right. I hope you understand this. Let's move on to our next task. Now it says, show each expression on a number line and solve. I showed you that up on top, up here, with the red rubber ball thing. Okay, so we're going to do that down here. So let me use letter B here. I'm going to use B. So I'm going to cut things up into what? What am I going to cut things up into?
4.
My unit number is
4.
4. So I'm going to cut things up into 4. I put my 0 here, and then I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, right? And I'm going to throw some other numbers out there. Okay? What is below the 0?
4.
0 over 4. Next one. 1 over 4. Next.
2 over 4.
2 over 4.
3 over 4.
3 over 4.
4 over 4.
4 over 4.
5 over 4.
5 over 4. What is that?
1 whole.
No, this is 1 whole. What's 5 over 4?
Improper
Improper fraction. 6 over 4, 7 over 4, and 8 over 4. Is that correct?
Half. Over 4.
Now, how many fourths do we have? Well, we could put I'm going to put my rubber ball here. And I'm just going to move it this time, okay? So I'm going to start on what? When am I going to start my rubber ball?
1/4.
On my 1/4, right? Because it says 1/4. And I'm going to add what? Another fourth, right?
Yes.
1. So there goes that fourth. Let's add one more fourth. 2. And let's add the last one.
3.
Okay? So we started with, let me get this out of the way. 1/4, right? Plus 1/4, plus 1/4, plus 1/4, right?
Yes.
So what do we end? What's our answer?
4 over 4.
4 over 4, which would equal what?
1 whole.
1 whole. That is correct. Probably should make that smaller, huh? Is that okay? There we go. So do you see how the number line works with fractions and adding them up?
Yes.
Okay. I love math!